But is this thing on? Hey, Battle Bill here with another video. Wait a minute, another video? Haven't put out a video in God knows how long. Kind of got the school year teaching itis, meaning that my full-time career along with full-time streaming on Twitch, highly recommend that if you miss my content on YouTube, again for the umpteenth time knocked me out of a consistent YouTube routine. But here I am, summer's around and I'm trying to hop back on the YouTube grind. So ideally I'll be able to make this one stick over the summer, meaning that I'll get so consistent that I'll carry it over into next school year. Here's hoping. And you know what, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, and if I really want this to be successful, I gotta just keep on trying until I just permanently fail. So here, my first video back into the new season 15 or season 11, because we cut off a couple seasons for God knows whatever reason. We're in like the midway point of some ultra league portion of this season, and boy oh boy do I have the team comp for you and the core breaking mon that was recently buffed due to the new season, ALOLAN SANDSLASH, receiving the charge move of Drill Run. I popped off. I have some relatively decently high, slightly above average elo that I'm working with to start this season. The goal is to bring back season 4 Bill back in my YouTube days before I even started streaming on Twitch, when I was top tier with the PvP skills and strats. And here I am with the comeback, this comp with Tapu Fini and Tentacruel ABB style to cover ALOLAN SANDSLASH's double weaknesses to both fire and fighting, and a decent coverage to ground, but at the same time at least ALOLAN SANDSLASH has some play against the ground typing. So without further ado, let's see if I can still do this commentating thing and get into the battles. In this current matchup, we just took out a Charizard with the Surf, meaning we won lead and they swapped because it was Pidgeot on ALOLAN SANDSLASH, and we're in a fantastic situation here. We're going to build up to a Moonblast. We're going to throw the Surf in case they decide they don't want to shield it, and they did not want to shield it. We want to force them to throw a charge move, but they still want to commit to this wing attack down. You know what? Be our guest. It doesn't really matter what you decide to do with your Pidgeot because it has zero play against ALOLAN SANDSLASH because of the fact that it only has access to flying type moves, whether they be fast or charging. They decide to pivot because they know they're in shambles if I Shadow Claw them completely down, and then they come in with a Swampert, which could be a bit of a problem for this team comp. ALOLAN SANDSLASH doesn't play it too poorly. Even though Drill Run is the non-stab move, it is a much better move than Ice Punch. Ice Punch, even with stab, you still don't want to throw it in the neutral scenarios. You only want to throw it in case you're trying to bait with Ice Punch or you're dealing super effective damage with Ice Punch when Drill Run is not. So we're spamming straight Drill Runs against the Swampert here, and we called a potential Earthquake. We knew we had to let this move come through. We fully expected them to bait again, which is exactly what they did. We have them in a good spot now that we landed that Drill Run and they're down to no shields. So we're going to keep our shield, let the Swampert Hydro Cannon our A-Slash down, and we're going to commit to a Poison Jab farm down of the Swampert. Or maybe even throw the Scald. Let's see what they try to do. We just got to be weary of a potential catch. They swapped way too early. We weren't anywhere near the move. We're going to throw the Scald here on our Tentacruel to take out the Swampert and win this match. We would have been fine either way based on the pure fact that we would have been able to probably just jab down the Swampert because we could eat an Earthquake. Getting to the next matchup, apparently everybody's leading with Pidgeot, and we have another fantastic situation here. They save swap into Jellicent, though, and our backline doesn't love Jellicent so much, but our ALOLAN SANDSLASH does. So we're going to stay in this matchup, throw on the proper move timings, because we are a 2-turn move with Shadow Claw on our ALOLAN SANDSLASH, and they are a 3-turn move with Hex on their Jellicent. We're going to commit the shields. I think we already shielded a bait of a Surf, which was super unfortunate, but because of the super effective Shadow Claws, we're able to put their Jellicent in a very good health range after farming up. And the main reason why we are committing to our ALOLAN SANDSLASH is based on the fact that we won lead, and then this was supposed to be their save swap. So their only legitimate counter to ALOLAN SANDSLASH is a Cobalion, yet we still have a super effective ground charge move and Drill Run to throw at them. I miscounted where their fast moves to charge move timing was there. I would have liked to have caught one of those moves on either my Cobalion or my on my Tapu Fini or my Tentacruel. They have the Cobalion. Silly me, still working out the kinks of this whole commentating thing. But regardless, I would have liked to have caught a move since it would have been resisted, but I misplayed because I misread how many fast moves had been thrown, and I lose my ALOLAN SANDSLASH there. That might be detrimental to me winning this match. They're going to get off another charge move here. The hope is that I'll be able to water gun down the Pidgeot before they can get off another charge move because they're double debuff based on Brave Birds. And unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to. They're going to get off another Brave Bird. And now I'm in a poor situation. All I had to do was try and catch a charge move from the Cobalion and keep my Alolan Sandslash alive. And that misplay is going to cost me dearly. Now, that is not a team comp issue. If I make the right play, this match was completely winnable. But unfortunately, that is not what I did here, and we end up catching the loss because of it. Getting to the next matchup, though, we're looking to bounce back. We have an Alolan Sandslash on a Swampert lead, not looking like the most ideal lead in the world, but Swampert's 10 out of 10 times will throw Hydro Cannons at your Alolan Sandslash instead of going for the Earthquake. So ideally, you throw the Drill Run before they even get to the Earthquake on their Swampert, and then you just let the Charge Moves come through in case they decide to go for the big nuke. Now here, they're going for back-to-back Hydro Cannons, and our goal is at least get a shield from the scenario and not play this zero shield situation. So we're going to shield up there. We're going to throw our own Drill Run. We're still not in a good spot regardless, but you know what? Alolan Sandslash doesn't play this too terribly. They overfarm a little bit. Our Shadow Claws chunked a bit. We have them at a better health range. We're going to overfarm and commit to the 2 shields. I typically like to commit the 1 shields, but sometimes, you know, I'll make play adjustments based on how I'm feeling in that moment. But for the most part, I highly recommend 1 shield scenario with Alolan Sandslash against Swampert. But this ends up paying dividends because their next Mon is going to be a Shadow Charizard, and we have double water in the back for it. We landed an Ice Punch. We were about to get a second one off. They decided that they wanted to throw to take us out and not let us go off the Ice Punch because it would have cost them their last shield. And now we're not in the most ideal circumstances because of this Walrein. We have a hard time dealing good damage to this Walrein, but that Moonblast that we got the shield from, the last shield, and the 10% attack debuff on their Walrein is going to be clutch. We're concerned with Walrein in this scenario because Earthquake is super effective against Tentacruel and hits Tapu Fini also hard for neutral damage, but because of that debuff, we take way less damage from the Earthquake that comes through. We build up to a Scald, we throw it, we almost take out the Walrein's remaining health, but we're able to jab down, and this match is essentially GG's because of that. So them saving the shield and not committing to the lead scenario ends up costing them in this match. We win another nice lead here with Alolan Sandslash on Pidgeot. A lot of people love to run Pidgeot lead in the current Ultra League meta, and a lot of people are still running an old team from either last season or the season before. Whenever these Swords of Justice boyos became meta relevant in Ultra League, they're running the team of Pidgeot, Cobalion, and Virizion. Quite recognizable just based on the lead and the swap that occurs here, and we sit in a beautiful situation against a team comp like that because we win lead, we win this swap, and even though Tentacruel is a water type, it also has that poison typing, so it will play amazingly against the Virizion that is most likely in the back. We unfortunately cannot get the Surf off it, and our Tapu Fini ends up going down. When we come back in with our Alolan Sandslash, they hard pivot into Virizion, and we then match them with our Tentacruel. They can throw anything they like here: Stone Edge, Leaf Blade, Sacred Sword, all of which will either be neutral or worse. And Tentacruel is such a tank in the Ultra League meta because it is a fully XL Mon. That is an XL Mon on this team comp. Alolan Sandslash is an XL Mon on this team comp. And also Alolan Sandslash, you need access to the Legacy Community Day fast move of Shadow Claw. That is why it has the nice pretty coloring so that you recognize as a legacy move. Regardless, like I said, we had such good alignment. I don't know why our opponent is still playing out this match. We are going to win this. We are going to spam a million Ice Punches. They're going to land a few Feather Dances, and the remainder of this match is going to take a little bit of time. Our opponent decided they wanted to play this out no matter what the writing on the wall looked like for them. Shout out to Homesize Henry, as always, goated YouTuber. One day I aspire to get my YouTube content out as consistently as he does. But you know what? I still get that Twitch streaming content out consistently, so there is that. Regardless, we're spamming Ice Punches here. They're debuffing the living heck out of us. Our switch timer is running low, and I make what almost appears to be a misplay, but does not end up costing me. Thankfully, I end up swapping and catching this when I should have just let my Alolan Sandslash go down. This is a huge misplay. Ignore that I did this. I thought I had this win so far in the bag that I was like, you know what, let's screw around and just make additional plays. And I almost lost myself this match, and then we start running into lag, which is concerning. But thankfully, the Virizion did not leave with the move. We're able to throw an Ice Punch here. We get a little bit more lag sitting in this spot, so that was additionally stressful. But all I needed to do is let my Alolan Sandslash go down or eat the Brave Bird. It might not even died to the Pidgeot, and then Tentacruel would have taken care of the remainder of their team. Getting to the next match, we have another beautiful lead with our Steel Ice type of Alolan Sandslash up against our opponent's Shadow Ice Fairy type of Alolan Ninetales, and all we need to do is spam some drill runs, get greedy. They're running Powder Snow, which does no damage. It does generate some energy, and because Alolan Ninetales hits pretty hard, the dazzling gleams that they're going to throw are going to slowly add up, and they generate energy quite fast because of Powder Snow. So we have to respect this because they decided they also want the shield, but because dazzling gleam is quite an expensive move, we're still able to leave this situation with a boatload of energy after winning the one shield situation. So they then come in with a Jellicent, and our Alolan Sandslash is sitting quite pretty. We overfarmed so much. I should have tried the CMP tie them to see if Alolan Sandslash would win CMP, but regardless, we survive with 1 HP, and then they swap last second. The main reason why you're seeing me not throw moves right away is because I'm trying to throw on proper timing. I mentioned this before. When you're a 2-turn move against a 3-turn move, you want to throw on your 1 fast move count, your 4 fast move count, or on 7 of your own fast moves, so that they don't get any free energy. And sometimes I play to that to a fault, because there are certain scenarios where you just want to get your energy out and throw your move before you potentially die, or let them get off a charge move because they're close. And that was almost one of those situations there, but this one's going to work itself out. We landed a Surf Bait from our Tapu Fini onto their Giratina Altered, which means we're gonna land this Moonblast that is coming through, and we're gonna say, bang! It takes out the like 45% of the Giratina Alter's remaining health, and now we just have a very nice end game scenario of our Tentacruel against their Jellicent. Now, this isn't typically a good matchup for Tentacruel based on the pure fact that, you know, the poison damage is resisted on Jellicent and they can deal nothing but neutral to us with their Hexes and their Shadow Balls, but it's a positive situation based on the fact that we did a good chunk of their health with our Alolan Sandslash in the lead scenario after we beat their Alolan Ninetales. So again, to a fault, I throw an extra fast move. Don't need to do that. Already at the Scald. Boom, land that, take out the Jellicent. GG's to that opponent there. Getting to the next one, we have a bad lead. Alolan Sandslash does not do well against Gold Lysopod, another recently buffed Mon in this meta. We save stop our Tentacruel, and we get matched by another counter to our Tentacruel, which is an Ampharos. So we're going to shield up. We're going to hope that we can throw on proper charge of fast move timing with our 2-turn fast move of Poison Jab into their 4-turn fast move of Volt Switch, and we get the shields because of our bait. Now we're going to commit another shield in hopes that our jabs will add up and we can potentially get to another Scald in time, but we're not going to be able to outpace them. We just really want to get shields, but they get greedy and feel that because of the fact that I threw my energy and they were 1 Volt Switch away from potentially farming me down, they thought they could, and that ends up being costly because now I flip switch. But here's a caveat. Galarian Weezing, as much as it's a poison fairy type and Steel Ice should do well against that, Galarian Weezing has access to the charge move of Overheat, so we still need to go into our Tapu Fini here. They really had no other options of charge moves to throw from their G-Weezing onto our Tapu Fini because of the fact that G-Weezings typically run Overheat and Brutal Swing. They could have been running Play Rough, but very unlikely. And thanks to that, they are forced to come back into their Gold Lysopod after debuffing themselves. They did not want to stay in the G-Weezing Tapu Fini matchup. We threw a Moonblast. We come in with our Alolan Sandslash, Shadow Claw down. The G-Weezing comes in, and this match is over. We're going to drill run the G-Weez. They're going to be able to get off an Overheat, take out our Alolan Sandslash's remaining health, but because of that drill run that landed, their health is way too low, so we're going to commit to the Water Gun farm down and win another match. Getting into the final match of this collection of battles, I've been running this team for the past few days, gained a couple hundred points. Specifically in this collection, I have 8 battles from a 3-2 set and a 5-0 set. I did not include all 10 battles. I took out 1 loss and 1 win from those 2 sets, just so that this was a reasonably sized YouTube video. I tried to highlight some of the most important matches where I, won lead very comfortably and won the match very comfortably, and also lost leads and was able to overcome, similarly to this match right here with a Alolan Sandslash against our opponent's Charizard. We save swap into a Tentacruel, and we're not in a good spot because they match it with Venusaur, but our opponent again gets greedy like in the last match. We're able to get to a Sludge Wave. We didn't even commit a single shield. Our opponent committed both their shields, and we still flip switch, so we're in a fantastic situation. Our opponent also tried to bait blast burn onto a Tapu Fini as if I was going to respect that resisted damage, and they freaking threw a Dragon Claw, which was even worse for them. At this point though, now I can just water gun all the way down, shield, commit Tapu Fini a bit, build up a bunch of energy, and see what their last mon is, and it ends up being a Shadow Machamp. They didn't even need alignment, yet they committed to it and still lost it. We're gonna land a bang from our Tapu Fini onto their Shadow Machamp, taking out 95% of its health, and we swap last minute because they decided not to top left after we farmed them up. I have no idea why I decided to show that. Why didn't it show the proper end screen? I don't know. What even is this end screen? I don't understand the video player that is currently happening on my screen, but we'll look at that. Let me know what you thought of the battles of the team comp. I'm super confused on why this is the last image of this video and why I paused there instead of just freezing at my, final win for my Ultra League badge. But regardless, I digress. The goal here is to try and be consistent with the YouTube content. There will be some times I'm going to miss, especially I'm going during NAIC. I'm going to Ohio for that international. It's not a regional technically, but to compete and play Pokemon. But regardless, this summer, the goal is to get out some videos consistently. So we'll see how well I do with that. And if you want to see daily content of Battle Bill, by all means, please drop a follow on the Twitch, subscribe to the YouTube channel. I forgot the typical like, comment, subscribe. I'm clearly not back on my YouTube-ish properly. But on that note, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Preach!